courage, compassion, faith, freedom, truth. It's time for Courage in the Darkness with the host, Philip Roberts. Awakening America to the indoctrination and radicalization. Let's get into it.
It's June, and if you live inside the DC bubble, this is the time of year when the air gets thick and the radical left starts losing its collective mind. Why? Because we're entering the final weeks of the Supreme Court term. This is when the opinions that actually shape the future of the Republic come tumbling down the mountain. The mainstream is already setting up the stage. They aren't reporting on the law. They're running a psychological operation. They're calling this a crisis of legitimacy. They're attacking the justices' families. They're trying to bully the conservative majority into moderating their stance on everything from administrative power to the Second Amendment. But, here's the reality. The Supreme Court is the last line of defense against the progressive supermajority that thinks it could bypass the Constitution whenever it's convenient for their agenda. This month, we aren't just watching for rulings. We are watching to see if the highest court in the land has the spine to hold the line for the original meaning of the Constitution. If you're new to the channel, I'm Philip Roberts. Let's get into it. The biggest battle happening right now isn't the one getting the most headlines, but it's the one that affects your life the most. It's the war on the alphabet agencies. For decades now, we've lived under a doctrine that essentially told judges to defer to the experts at the EPA, the ATF, and the DOJ. It's a system where unelected bureaucrats get to write the rules, enforce the rules, and then they judge you for breaking them. It's a total rejection of the separation of powers. We're expecting a major ruling this term that could finally put an end to this deference trap. If the court rules the way we expect it, it'll strip the power away from the DC bureaucrats and give it back to the people and their elected representatives. The left is terrified because their entire Green New Deal and equity agenda depends on these agencies having the power to bypass Congress. If that power is gone, their house of cards starts to fall. Then we have the cultural battlegrounds. We're waiting on a critical decision regarding the Second Amendment, specifically whether the government can use emergency declarations or administrative reclassifications to ban the tools you use to protect your family. We saw it with the bump stock ban, and we're seeing it with the ghost gun rhetoric. The court has a chance to tell the states the Second Amendment isn't a second-class right. And don't overlook the cases on religious liberty. The left is trying to use anti-discrimination laws as a blunt force object to crush Christian businesses and charities. They want to force you to choose between your faith and your livelihood. We've seen the protest industrial complex lining up outside homes of the justices, trying to intimidate them into caving. But these aren't just legal cases. They are tests of our national character. Will we remain a nation where you're free to live according to your conscience? Or will we become a nation where the state is the ultimate authority on what you're allowed to believe? The next few weeks are gonna be a roller coaster. Every time a conservative ruling comes down, you're gonna see the media melt down. They'll talk about court packing, they'll talk about ethics investigations, and they'll talk about how democracy is under threat. Ignore the noise. Democracy isn't under threat when the court follows the Constitution. It's under threat when the government ignores it. Keep your eyes on the bench and your prayers on the justices. The soul of the republic is on the docket. If you want the real breakdown of these rulings, not the woke spin you're going to get on the evening news, then I need you to stand with this network. We're an independent media platform, which means I don't have corporate legal departments telling me what to soften. The truth is the truth, and it needs to be said. And I don't need to stay on the good side of anybody, or especially stay on the good side of the DC establishment. If you'd like to support this channel and keep the Truth in the Darkness network moving forward through this critical summer, go to titdusa.com, check out the Stand Against the Silence campaign, and help us stay in the fight. While you're there, grab one of our faith-based or political tees. Wear something that lets people know that you stand for the Constitution and the original intent of the founders. If you're already a subscriber, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are the reason I can keep the lights on here, while the media tries to dim the truth. Find me on Rumble, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Patreon. Subscribe and share this episode with anyone who is tired of hearing the Supreme Court get slandered by people who haven't even read the Constitution. The silence they want from us, we refuse it every single week.